Holy cow, I've been demoted. The Gleaner's going in the barn, and this one's sitting out. Morning. Started the morning off thinking we were going to have to fix a dryer. Pleasant surprise, we were just out of gas. Yeah, a couple videos ago we had a problem with this dryer, the thermocoupler, which is, I think, is what helps it ignite or makes it ignite. Wires burn off, but we put a new one in. Thought that happened again, but turns out when the propane company filled up the tanks, they shut them all off but one. We ran out of gas in the middle of the night. What do you think of that working, man?
Yes, sir. We got work with that. I can put you in that dryer, but we got her going.
Well, he's got the tools to fix it.
Yeah, right size, too.
He probably does. Oh, we got a pocket knife.
See that?
That my pocket knife?
Man, I lost one just like that.
All right, Dax, load up. Let's go. Now we've got that dryer running. We're going to let it keep going. There's a decent chance. Today we're running that Gleaner. There's a decent chance we might have to dry some beans. So we got to let that dryer get empty. That'll probably take a couple hours, which is probably about how long it'll take to dry off over here. So hopefully it'll be dry. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock now. We should be able to start in a couple hours, I think.
18.5.
Trying to figure out some strategy for grain bin storage on some soybeans. So Dad's counting up some acres. Well, there's our acres left. Corn 573, beans 559, total 1132 plus about 400 acres of double crops. Here we don't figure our double crops into many equations. We just kind of look at those as a bonus. So when we're budgeting for the year, we don't really figure in our double crop soybeans because they could make nothing. But I think there's like 350 acres of double crop beans, so that'll take us approximately like 4 days because we can usually fly through those pretty fast. Now looking at this chart, you see some big numbers here, but then it gets into a lot of little fields. Same here, that's in like 3 fields, but they're all close. And then we got a lot of moving. Moving takes time. You'll fill up on this thing is way up there. A little bit different location. A little bit easier to get to too. Is it a thunder wagon or a thunder chicken? Apparently he calls it a thunder wagon. I could have swore I've heard him call it a thunder chicken. Since we've got the thunder wagon over here, we might as well put a little fuel in the ideal. Since we're here. You know, Pappy's climbing in the combine. I just don't think he can hardly stand the anticipation. He's cleaning the windows off on a combine that hasn't been in the field yet. Bubby sound like a walking tool chest.
Huh?
Nothing. Yeah, Dad's getting her unhooked. Let's see if we can get this done. He should be able to get it. But I'm gonna go get the truck and hook up to the wagon, and then we're gonna get moved.
Okay, we are going down the road in the Gleaner. Got her going, so we got her figured out here. So just ain't no place to mount a camera, but we're going down the road. Got a rider with me. Dax is in here with me. He had to have first ride too, so we're going down and see if we can do some soybeans here a little bit. Dries off a little more.
Well, this is odd. We're going to be waiting on someone and we're in a combine. Well, we're in a truck, but the combine's going to be waiting on a dumpster truck here in a minute.
It drives nice on the road. It's 23.5 miles an hour, stable. Really drives nice, rides good.
Well, we've got a lot of bean heads around. Smile, Brent. Yeah, he's full of government juice. Going to hook her up.
When we got home, I didn't, but when we got home, I got to looking. You know, I found one of my old books. Had the serial number in it. Yep. Yeah, that's it.
There's just combines everywhere. Hey Dax, which combine you want to run, boy?
Pepsi goes.
You want to run that one?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to clean up a little bit, kid. You're dirty.
Come on.
There he goes. Kid in a candy store he is. walking behind the Gleaner while Dad's getting started, kind of checking some things. We are getting some loss, but most of it is off the head. These beans, the stems are dry and they're shattering. See, when we walk up here, this would be head loss right here. There's some beans on the ground here. I guess that air system people always talk about would be pretty handy right about now. Well, I think we've got the Gleaner set pretty well. We've got Larry and I had to move some trucks around, so Dax and I are finally going to hop in the combine, and we're really going to make the dust roll. And luckily, Dax has a bag full of Halloween candy. Try to get through here without hitting the building, bub. Unloading on the go with the Gleaner. That auger's going to take a little bit of getting used to, bub.
Hey everyone, in the Gleaner. We got her set, I think, pretty good. The sample was really clean, looks nice. The splits were really nice, no hardly any splits. I think we're doing a good sample outside. Don't see much on the ground. We're getting some head loss, but these beans are so dry. The bean itself not that dry, but the stalk is. It's just go to the powder. There's Brian over there. If you can see through the glare of the windshield's kind of dirty. So probably getting to see better to turn around and come back the other way. But so far so good. Nice machine. Wish I had a 40-foot draper on it, but it's only 35. That's all they had. But it's handled. We're rolling right along 485 mile an hour. Beans are making 60 to 65 bushel. But like I say, they're short. Just loaded, yes. And they run pretty easy, where they run, what, 65% power. But that's the monitor. It does all kinds of things. Shaft speeds. This is your miles per hour, the engine RPM, and the SV1 is your, like a cruise control. It's got two of them on it. I haven't got that figured out yet. Turn this microphone around, maybe a little better. But this is your harvest bushels per acre. This is your engine load. There's the load. We're just cruising along. So we're going. Brent got out to compare the Lexion to this. I don't know if you can see it, but you can definitely see where I run. It's scattering out the. Does a good job scattering out the residue. We can do a little better on Brian's, I think. Okay, just turned around. Got the auto guides working. It works good. We got an AB line here. We just can't run the same as Brian's. I mean, if I go the same angle pretty well. This doesn't have ag leader in it, so we don't. It's got the AgCo yield monitor. But you can get the ag leader in it, I guess, which I'd probably definitely get. But so far, so good. Cruising along about 5 miles an hour. Like I say, there's not a lot, not real big tough beans, but I don't think we're going to have any tough ones now. The whole frost has killed everything off. It definitely handled 40-foot. So far, so good, but you can see the difference there maybe in the residue. It scatters it out a little better. Okay, the first buzzer went off. We're like 70% full. Then I can see in the wind that's there also. I don't know if you can tell outside. Probably can.
The little Gleaner's flying. It's running about 4.5 miles an hour. Now for the real moment of truth of the day. This coffee's been in there for a couple hours. Let's see if it's still hot. It's tolerable, but we don't have long. What are you doing, bub? You testing some electrical connections?
Yeah.
In our bag of snacks? Some pretty riveting stuff back there.
Okay, we finished that land. We're going to go over to the other side of Brian here. We've got probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 acres. Won't take long. So far, so good. The moisture was off. I think we got it set now. So, I don't know. Yield monitor seems, I believe, pretty close to what Brian's doing. So, I think it's right on. Pretty sample. Real clean. BJ unloads. He's afraid to get too close, but not really. Ain't closer than what he does Brian, I don't think, with that auger. 40-foot head, you'd probably need a little longer auger, which they make. So we'll get started over on this land here. I know one thing, I'll clean my windshield in the morning. That was Sunday, Larry. Makes it rough to see. Doesn't have any place but camera except right down here, and I don't think you can see a lot except my hand. So I don't know. We'll try it.
I just had a mild panic attack. Heard a really strange noise coming from the combine. Stopped, immediately shut everything down. It's my seat airing up.
The sun's going down, so talk a little bit about the head. It seems like a pretty nice head. Other thing I don't like is the reel. You can't get real close to the cutter bar. You can, but if you do, if you hit a groundhog hole or something to raise that bar up, it'll cut the fingers off. So outside of that, it really feeds you good, and everything works good there. So outside of that, it's hydraulic pressure on up and down. It floats real good. Of course, this is a flat field, but still there's some places there. So we'll get in a little rougher one on the other side over the other field. So we'll see how it does there. But so far, so good. It's just the reel. I just can't get it down like the MacDon, and the MacDon's the other ones you can't get down like that. It does feed good. It's a draper. It feeds good. Really dusty here. That going back up here. Forgot to put it down. See where I'm going. Good thing for auto steer. That sun glare makes it hard this time of evening. That's the way it always is. Especially dirty windows doesn't help. So I'll wash them windows off in the morning before we start.
Daxie's going to ride in the Gleaner. Well, you ready to write a check for it?
You are.
Oh. She's got some good lights, looks like. There's the White Truck Mafia. That's a couple guys from AGCO down. They were the ones that helped us get the combine set up, get everything rolling. Well, since Dad's already got his lights on, he's already admitted defeat, so we'll turn mine on.
Okay, we're running this other field here, just starting to open it up. Got good lights on it. LEDs. Not real good beans right here, the strip right here. Really gravelly. We're running on 5. What are we run? Only about 70%, 65% power. These beans are making, not right here, 57. Brian up there opening up around that low spot where there's water. They're real good up there, he said. Got a rider with me, Dax is with me. He's been with his dad all day, so he wasn't riding a good combine, huh, Dax? Gleaner?
Yeah.
So far, we're doing a pretty good job.
I need my dad's lights now.
Yeah, you see Dad's lights?
Yeah. He's way as hell.
Yeah, we get this round here, then we'll start at an angle. That way we don't knock so many. Sometimes if it's snouts to get on a row and knock that row down, that's why we go to an angle. And it's better on the cutter bar, even or wear.
And Dad is having a blast running that Gleaner, but I'm really missing display cast. I'm trying to set a line manually, basically just trying to match his in the dark. Not all that fun. If we had display cast, like in our two combines, we would have each other's AB lines and crop data. Kayla just called. She's brought food up to the grain bins. We're just right beside the grain bins, so we're gonna run up there and eat some dinner. Come back and finish this field. The Gleaner's got some good lights, all LEDs. Mine kind of got that amber color to them. A little bit older lighting package there. 2020, 2014. Dad drove us up to the bins in the Gleaner. I said, "Are you driving up?" He said, "I ain't walking." Says he bought that combine, said he used all of our money, and he's paying for it.
Mom, I want the combine. You bought it? I want the combine.
Mom, be nice to Dax. He just put in a 10-hour work day. Give that kid some ice cream or something. What should bring us? Chicken Alfredo. Is that good?
You know,
I'm pretty sure it's out of a Stouffer's tray.
them Stouffer's are pretty good cooks.
Yeah. Expensive taxi service. I think he's just playing with that auger because he can. I was dragging up a little bit right before we took a break for dinner. See if I got any broke sections or guards. I'm not seeing any. I think it's just, I think the ground's just getting, or the beans are just getting a little tough. It is kind of a clear night. Hopefully we can finish this. We got about 35 acres left. He's running 5.5 miles an hour, I guess. So at that speed, it's not going to take a long time. I mean, at that speed, with a 5 foot smaller platform, he's probably doing the same or more acres an hour than I am. Now this combine could probably run that fast, but I don't run it that fast. 4.5 is usually where I run.
Okay, we're running here. It's about 8 o'clock, 8:30, well 7:30. But getting tough. I've slowed down from 5.5 to 4.5, 4.5. 60 bushel beans are back there. I seen some 80 bushel there, the low spot. It's going right on about 70% power. It's kind of surprised me. It's doing pretty good. Of course, we're taking 35 feet compared to 40 feet with our Lexion, but still, it's handling it fine. So these beans are a little better over on this side, lower ground. The tar. Still not real big rank beans, but I've seen them a lot bigger. Of course, they're all no green stems, so that makes a difference too. But it's starting to get tough. So we're just about done with this field. And we get this field done, and that'll be it for the night. But we're still cruising along with the old Gleaner. Brian's over there. He's not running very fast.
Gleaner, harvest moon. It's a pretty moon, and those are pretty lights. And that's all. There was 110 acres right here in these two fields. We did that pretty quick actually, so not bad. With the Gleaner getting started, you know, setting up a demo, not knowing how to do it, we didn't really get going till 4 o'clock. So all in all, not bad. Thanks, BJ, for leaving my windows open. Well guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Dad just informed me I get to run the Gleaner tomorrow, so looks like we'll get to spend some time in there. See what we think of it. I'm pretty excited. Dad's he's really falling for that thing, so we'll see. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. If you need any Brown Farms merch, great Christmas presents, link in the description. We'll see you in the next one.